All right, guys, we're on Big Brother season 24, episode 25. Of course, Michael has the veto. Um, and now we're moving into is he going to use the veto? Who's he going to use it on? And what's going to happen after that? Plus, we have Kyle's game kind of getting blown up and him being portrayed as racist. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but here's how the game is going to play out now. So everyone now knows about what happened. Monty's upset. Uh, Terrence is upset. And Taylor's upset. And of course, everybody else just don't want to be associated with the whole Kyle thing. Uh, yeah, it's it's kind of cringy, this whole thing. I mean, it's all being done for optics, and it's like it's a political thing where they have to kind of distance themselves from the situation because opportunists are everywhere, and if people see the opportunity to virtue signal and by making Kyle a villain, they will do it, and it will call him racist, and everyone else just don't want to be caught in the crossfire. So and then Kyle, obviously, he has no choice but to sort of like fall on the sword and just be like, oh, I had certain biases, and I now know, and I now realize that I was, it's like he just made a bad game call. He wasn't. All right, whatever. It's just annoying. So he goes to Brittany to find out what's going on, and Brittany obviously told him, what she told everyone and all this stuff, and he was just like, he's just trying to find out what if people are portraying him as a racist and what's going on, pretty much. And they kind of use this ammo. They use this social ammo to freaking destroy this game and his reputation. And obviously that's what they're doing, but they're trying to play it like they're not. And this was a struggle for them to do this. It's like, nah, Michael was pretty upset prior when he thought he was getting backdoored and he was ready to use this ammo. He did it because he was mad and he was trying to blow up Kyle's game. It wasn't because it was the right thing to do or any nonsense like that. Pretty much game, just all gameplay. And they destroyed his life because of it. So they do this whole talk about race back and forth, and of course Kyle is apologizing, and nonsense. They have a whole house meeting about it. We're gonna skip through all that nonsense. They're going back and forth. Jesus Christ, this took entirely too long. Like the whole episode was just discussing the whole Kyle situation. And of course, Michael used a veto on Brittany, took Brittany off the block, and Turner put Kyle in place. Kyle was also talking about, just exiting from the game and leaving and all that stuff. So he was pretty much defeated. I mean, the man walked around looking like he's been crying his eyes out for hours on end. Like the look was still on his face, like fresh tears were just wiped away. Uh, of course, Alyssa tried to distance herself from him, and she broke up with him, and she was saying this nonsense about I can't be the only one fighting for this relationship, and you never fought for me on all this bullshit. Like, what did she? How did she fight for him? By her game plays being terrible, and the only reason she remained was because of him, and her constantly trying to seduce him and constantly trying to get him to play more into the romance thing, even though he was trying to distance himself because it wasn't good for his game. Is that her fighting for the relationship? This chick, bro, like seriously, she's done nothing but be a detriment to him, and now she's saying he didn't fight for her. So she broke up with him to save her reputation. Oh God, people. So freaking I think one of the good highlight of this episode I would think would be this. I don't know why they're wearing those things on their heads, but think that's a do-rag he's got there. I've never seen him with a do worth protecting, but so they're having this conversation, and Monty's saying to Taylor, who doesn't have a game or a game plan or any ideas of her own, that it was very convenient that Michael and Brittany are bringing this up now. And he's thinking that they did it for game reasons, and they're saying they did this, and this doesn't help their game at all, and all this nonsense. But he's realizing that this actually does help their game, and it was a good strategy on their end, and they've been very strategic throughout the whole game. And he's saying to her, the first chance he gets, he's taking a shot at Michael, because he's running away with the game pretty much, and she's just nodding along and agreeing, because of course she doesn't have anything to add or any kind of strategy whatsoever, because she's terrible at this game. So they have this conversation, and I'm like, Monty's finally starting to click on, because Michael was always considering backdooring him. Michael's always considering what angle he can get rid of anybody from the leftovers. He was always doing that. So there's no reason to be lawyers, especially when he's freaking winning the game, and he wanted to be the first one to take a shot within the alliance. It just so happened that Turner was the first one to do it. All right, so Kyle and Taylor's on the block, and he gave his goodbye speech and was all tearful, and they went to vote, and it was a unanimous vote. Everyone voted out Kyle. Kyle went home, and yeah, it's bad, man. Julie grilled him about race, how race factored in through his thoughts and all this stuff, and it was just like, damn, man, I just hate to see this kid get railroaded like this. I mean, well, he's not a kid, he's 29, but still, man, like, look at the dude's face. Like, he looks like he was crying all day. Like, he's no hydration. Like, shit. I mean, he's obviously not racist. This is he's just bad gameplay and bad judgment call. It shouldn't be blown up this much. You know what I mean? But I mean, I guess I can play devil's advocate and be like, oh yeah, think about it like this way. What if it's, it was like a work situation where he was like their boss and he made some kind of racial call or whatever. It's just like, yes, I get that. I get it could have been worse, but it wasn't that situation. It's not this situation. It's not fair to use him as a freaking scapegoat to send a message to other people out there that might be thinking this way, because it has a real life effect on his life. It's not fair to do that to a person. That is jacked up. That is not right. It doesn't make you good or decent or fighting the power or whatever. It's not cool. Whatever. All right, so it's on to the HOH competition, and it is Zingbot related. And you can see right here, they have to assemble a bonfire wooden version of Zingbot, and see the puzzle pieces here. They have to run over here and assemble it, and going back and forth one piece at a time, I assume. So that is going to be the competition for next episode, because they don't show the results in this episode. So until next time, later.